Red Dead Redemption begins when a former outlaw by the name of John Marston has his family taken away by the feds in return for Marston's service to hunt down, capture, and/or kill his former gang members while revisiting the Old West, meeting new and interesting characters, digging up the old past that he's been longing to leave behind along the way. It's a story that is starting to get just a little bit cliche, but thanks to some awesome presentation value, beautiful scenery, memorable characters, and authentic dialogue from the Old West, this truly delivers. Now, this is developed by Rockstar Games, who brought you the Grand Theft Auto series, and my first impression, along with many other people, were that, oh, this is Grand Theft Auto in the Old West. It is much more than that. Sure, every now and then there's a presentational element or some sort of mechanic that is similar to some of those that you see in the Grand Theft Auto series, but with every one of those things comes like 2 or 3 new things that they brought to the system. The game is set in 1911, so this is obviously a period piece in which the Old West is dying, and Rockstar really brought up their A game. You got fantastic costume design, really great art direction, beautiful scenery, and traveling the whole area is just a delight. I mean, I don't know about you, but it didn't feel as tedious as it was driving down the street, you know, hitting people and hitting other cars in the Grand Theft Auto series, whereas here, you're riding on a horse right into the sunset, and you're just witnessing this really vast area that's not so, you know, congested with people, and you just, you know, it really does define the term free roam. The main progression of the game is very similar to those of previous Rockstar games, in which you have to complete certain story missions in order to progress the story, and you can do it at your own time whenever you want. Now, being that this is the Old West, there are no cell phones, there's no email, there's no, you know, computers. So whereas in the Grand Theft Auto series that, you know, there were certain missions where you had to do them right there and then because somebody will call you up and say, hey, come over here and do this. Here, not really. Here you do it on your own time. There's no means of fast communication, so obviously you can get from one mission to the other on your own. What I really do love about this game that I really wish they had more in the Grand Theft Auto series, particularly Grand Theft Auto 4, is that there's plenty to do on the side from the story missions, beginning with the Stranger Tasks. Stranger Tasks are basically bonus storylines spread out throughout the entire country for you to do. These Stranger Tasks don't exactly benefit your main voyage, but man, they are fun to just do. Not to mention, most of these stories, not all of them, but most of these side story missions really do have some sort of twist at the end that really makes you want to continue playing them and finish them. Aside from that, there's also little things that you could do, such as play horseshoe, blackjack, poker, liar's dice. If you want to gain some money or you want to complete certain tasks and trophies and achievements, you can also complete bounties. If you're not familiar with the West, you know that bounties are basically those posters that are hung up on the wall, most of the time placed around the sheriff's station. You can accept these bounties and complete them on your own time. You can either kill the wanted man or capture him and you'll gain even more money. Now, in terms of combat, like I said, there's this cover system in which you can take cover from behind certain areas or objects in order to protect yourself during shootouts. Along with that, you also got your basic knife fighting and your basic punches. But it wouldn't be the Old West without a good old-fashioned duel. Throughout the game, whether it be on your own or in the actual story, you will encounter certain duels. Now, I will say this, if you are barely starting to play this game, duels are going to be easy at first, but then they're going to get challenging, and you're going to have to realize what you're doing and pay attention. Because I was starting to get frustrated with duels. I was trying to avoid them until finally I understand what I had to do. And playing a really good role in not only the duels but gameplay itself is a new little thing called Deadeye. Deadeye is a new mechanism that was thrown in. Being that you're an Old West gunslinger, you're going to have to develop some sort of sharpshooting ability. And to give players that sensation of being able to shoot anything within any distance, Rockstar threw in this Deadeye mechanism in which if you have enough Deadeye quote-unquote juice in your meter, you're able to click the R3 button and slow down time, and you're able to mark down your target and shoot it down. But along with that, you also got an array of authentic weaponry. From throwing knives to rifles to high-power pistols and repeaters, you'll have incredible variety. Of course, this being also an open-world game, you're going to need some sort of transport. Instead of cars and SUVs, you got yourself some horses and or carriages. Speaking of the open world, this place is huge. The area is divided into 3 places. You got New Austin, which mostly resembles the western states such as California, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona. You got West Elizabeth, which is very reminiscent of the East Coast, you know, like in New York, where you got a lot more population, you got a lot more technology evolving there. You got cars, or as they were called, automobiles. And you can even go to El Paraíso, which is basically Mexico. And one of the things that I absolutely love is the transition from one place to the other. When you go to one one of these three places to another, you'll instantly see the transition from the atmosphere to the music to the way people talk, which apparently seems to be a trademark for Rockstar. And obviously I can't end this review without mentioning the multiplayer. Now I'm not 100% sure if the Grand Theft Auto 4 multiplayer had this, but here you can level up your character and develop his accuracy, his strength, or something like that. And as you progress, you will also gain guns, horses, and in this case, characters. Characters is pretty much costumes. Here you can't really design your own costume, you can't give them a special hat or some sort of coat. You just have to choose a character, which in my opinion I think is a little limiting. I mean, we should be able to customize our own characters rather than just choose one. And one of the big changes here is that what they decided to do is to make the entire world of Red Dead Redemption, New Austin, what was it called? West Elizabeth, I think it was called, and El Paraíso. All three of those areas grouped together to make one giant mega super lobby. The whole area is your lobby. You can it's called free roam. Yeah, no crap. Basically, you can go around and you can go ahead and level yourself up, and in the meantime, you can also go to certain areas in which you can take out gang hideouts in order to level up your character and develop experience points. You can go to certain areas in order to transfer from one place to the other, and above all, you also have certain areas in which you can go and engage yourself in either free-for-all matches or gang fights. And along with that, you also got some of your basic game mode types like capture the bag or something like that. I can't remember. Overall, Red Dead Redemption is hands down one of the best games I've ever played, and definitely a staple in the open world genre. I give Red Dead Redemption a 9.8 out of 10, which is an A+. The only few things that keep me from giving it a perfect score is the fact that every now and then there is a glitch. There were 2 or 3 times where there was this glitch that seriously did not let me play on any further, and I had to restart the game. And I never encountered such a glitch on a game on the PS3. And also some of the controls when you're mounted up on top of the horse are really sticky and just really problematic. There were certain instances where I was riding down the road with my horse, and all of a sudden the horse just derails to the left or to the right, and just I'm wondering where are they going. For some reason they're going off somewhere. But once again, really great gameplay, beautiful presentation, and a story with an ending that really got to me made this a really ultimate game. I mean, the only thing cooler that I can think of is John Marston going up against zombies.
Looks like things is about to get settled once and for all.
So it seems.